Hiya and welcome back to another episode of Chat and Trim with me, Jacob Strickland at Nova Barber Club, and I'm very delighted today to have a special guest with me, former Premier League international referee Andre Marriner. I'm very excited for this one.
Thanks.
You'd like to introduce yourself for some man or whatever.
Hi, this really is me, and I'm having a trim, as you can tell, and hopefully it's going to make me look younger.
Hopefully it'll be a good one. What do you usually?
Normally it's like a two blended, and then just a bit of length on top to just style it. That's it.
Wicked. Yeah.
You're local?
Yeah, we've been in the area now nearly 4 years. Moved over from Solihull, so we're just down the road in Hotwood.
Hotwood. Oh yeah, not far at all. Yeah. You live there for long?
It will be 4 years in April.
Yeah. And have you grown up in Birmingham all your life?
Yeah, so went to school in Edgbaston.
Yeah.
Secondary school called George Dixon.
Yeah.
And then sort of grew up round Spring Hill, Hockley, not too far from the Jewellery Quarter.
Yeah.
And then sort of moved out to sort of Sheldon, and then into Solihull.
Yeah.
Obviously when I met my wife and started a young family.
And I suppose there's that old cliche that people say that who'd want to be a referee, who'd want to be a linesman. But what was your first interaction with refereeing there?
So let me start by saying I never wanted a referee.
No.
I wanted to play. And I was an half decent goalkeeper as a youth. I was back in the day. Then it was called schoolboy forms.
Yeah.
Down at Shrewsbury Town.
Yeah.
Sort of every school holiday I'd go down there and sort of train, sweep the dressing rooms out after games, things like that, doing all those sort of apprenticeship things.
Yeah.
But sort of never really was given the opportunity there, so I moved from there to had trials at Birmingham City, Swindon Town, Bristol City. Again, sort of never really came to fruition, and then just started playing just local on a Saturday in the Midland Comp League.
Yeah.
Playing football, and then got asked to just go and watch Earlsville Town on a Sunday to play for them. But went to watch the game, the referee hadn't turned up, so I'm standing there just in my tracksuit, 20 years of age, looking at this team in readiness to hopefully sign for them and play for them. And the lad who was refereeing was the away team manager, and he just says, "Do you mind refereeing it for us?" as a neutral. Yeah. And I was like, reluctantly agreed, but really enjoyed the experience.
Yeah.
And then in the bar afterwards, I think they give me like £15. I was like, "What's this for?" He says, "Oh, it's a match fee that you get for the referee." I was like, "Oh right, okay." It's me normally paying my subs to play football, and here's me getting paid to referee. I went home, just told my dad about the experience, and then unknown to me, the week later he'd signed me up on a refereeing course.
No way.
Yeah.
But without your knowledge or consent, he just put you on it.
Just put me on it. Told me I was to go, and then back in the day, then it was like an 8-week course with Solihull Referees Society.
Yeah.
And it was just like educational on a Monday night for 2 hours for 8 weeks, and then you do an exam at the end of it. I mean, it's all changed now. You do the course over a weekend now.
Yeah.
But back in the day, then it was like 8 lots of 2 hours, and it was just like reading from a book, if you like.
Oh really?
Yeah, no hands-on experience or anything, just to learn the laws of the game and then take the test. Now, as I say, it's over a weekend. You can do it in the 2 days, and there's a practical element to it as well, so you actually have some experience at doing it, so it's a lot better now in terms of progressing and becoming a referee. But I still played on a Saturday for 4 or 5 years, while I refereed just on a Sunday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
in goal still.
In goal still, yeah. So, and my experiences as a ref on a Sunday were great, because a lot of the teams that I was refereeing, or the players that I was refereeing, I was playing against on a Saturday. So instantly you got that little bit of respect off them because they knew you played the game.
Yeah.
And you know, I probably had an easy journey through the ranks, if you like. Didn't have any trouble, or probably caused a lot, but never had any.
Yeah.
I think somebody come and watched me as a referee and just said, "You're quite good at this. You've got a good presence. You've got good knowledge. You've got a good relationship with the players, and you know, if you wanted to progress, you could go a lot further." But I was still enjoying playing, so I didn't really, want to. And then a few injuries, a couple of dislocated fingers. As a goalkeeper, I was spending a bit of time on the sidelines. So then just started refereeing on a Saturday. And then you start progressing then so I think the next season, I think it was my 5th season as a referee, I started taking it a lot more seriously and then refereeing on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And then you start progressing through the levels then.
So how old are you now at this time when you start to take it a little bit more seriously?
So I passed the refereeing exam at 21.
Yeah.
And then sort of 26 years of age. And then you sort of got invited onto what was called a supply league then.
Okay.
And that supply league for me then was was called the Doc Martens League. So that was the sponsorship. So it was the Southern League. Yeah. And then you run the line at that level and referee at a level below. So you're gaining experience all the time by officiating at games above the level that you're refereeing at, and watching obviously other referees work in a team as being an assistant referee.
Yeah.
But again, that's changed now massively in terms of if you're identified as a good prospect as an assistant referee, there's a pathway that way now instead. So you don't have to, yes, you start as a referee, but there's different pathways you can go down there. So I then got promoted onto the middle of the Doc Martens.
Yeah.
And then what went with that is I was lining on the conference. And then when I got promoted as a ref onto the conference, I was lining or assistant refereeing on the Football League. So you were always assisting at one level higher than what you were reffing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a good system. Is that still standing today? I'm assuming.
No, it's changed now.
It's changed now.
Yeah, because of that pathway.
Okay.
If you're identified as an assistant referee, and that's where you want to progress, you'll cease refereeing at a much lower level.
You'll focus,
just go down
solely on that path.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah. Rather than that broad, I suppose you had that broad understanding.
Yeah, and you probably had that learning from referees at a level above you, and then taking whatever you were learning into your games as a referee.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed running the line, but I was a far better referee than I was at running the line.
Yeah.
And it's a different skill set. Just like in the world we are now with VAR, it's totally a different skill set as well now. So then I got onto the Football League, spent 2 years as a referee doing obviously League 2, League 1, Championship.
Yeah.
And then in my 2nd season, I got some trial games on the Premier League.
Yeah.
I refereed 4 games that season. So now I'm 32, 33 years of age.
And that's quite young, isn't it, for a referee?
Yeah, so when in terms of taking it seriously and refereeing on a Saturday to progressing as a Premier League referee, probably took 7 years. Yeah. Which in that day and age was quite a quick progression.
Yeah, in the grand scheme.
But even now, you can do it a lot quicker now.
Oh, really?
If you show potential, they'll move you on.
Along all these moments here, you've gone from that level then to the Football League. Now it's Premier League. Now it's this is the big stage essentially. Does the pressure change? Does it feel any different? Or
massively different.
What was that? What was your first game?
So remember I had 4 trial games in the season before. So my very first Premier League game was while I was a Football League referee. Yeah. And it was. This is how long ago it was. Charlton Athletic against Norwich City.
Wow.
So Charlton in the Premier League.
Yeah, Charlton in the Premier League.
And the game went really well in terms of nothing controversial.
Yeah.
And the big difference from Championship, so Football League refereeing to Premier League, is essentially that goldfish bowl. It's a lot. There's a lot more cameras. There's a lot more scrutiny. There's a lot more coverage in the press about it. So, and even a game of, you know, that magnitude, it's not your Man U v Liverpool or whatever, but it's still an important game. You know? I mean, all games are important.
All games are important, yeah, of course.
But so the scrutiny is that much higher. I refereed 3 other trial games, and 2 actually involved a team you're familiar with, Man City.
Man City.
Yeah, so I refereed twice up at Manchester City.
Was that at Main Road? Or
no, it was
at City Manchester.
Because they've been there. What is it? 20 odd years now.
Been there a while, haven't they? I think since 2000. Yeah, 2004. Yeah, 2004. Yeah, so we've about 20 years.
Yeah, so it was in that season 4-5 that I've refereed the 2 games.
Okay,
so
it was like the first season.
First season, yeah. And obviously, you know, you judged on those games. They all went really well, and I got offered a professional contract then.
Fantastic.
So, you know, having 2 years on the Football League, 3 years on the conference, you know, the time before that. So, in sort of 6 years, I've gone from refereeing Parks football to Premier League.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. When you look back at it.
What was that like? Did you, you know, I suppose you'd kind of accepted, you know, you were going to be a referee. So when you know, maybe take you about 5, 6 years before that.
Yeah.
When you're thinking, right, maybe, you know, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a referee.
Yeah. So
what's the goal? You know, in your head, were you thinking, right, I want to get to the Premier League, or I want to get there eventually?
Yeah, when I started on that journey then and started taking it a lot more serious. It was a goal. It was an aim, and so much so that, you know, my job changed in terms of I was working at Land Rover.
Yeah.
I was on a 2-week sort of shift pattern, and then coming through that system, you had when you were refereeing, you had sort of other than non-league, you were doing like reserve team football as well.
Yeah.
So the Premier League had a reserve team league, and so did obviously the Football League.
Yeah.
And the problem you had with the Football League one was a lot of the kickoffs were 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
So that worked for me in my job because I was on a 2-week shift pattern of days and then nights, so I could accept sort of afternoon appointments at 2 o'clock when I was on nights.
Yeah.
So my refereeing sort of really took off then.
Yeah.
And so much so that when I got offered, when I got onto the Football League, in view of chasing that Premier League dream sort of thing, to be a referee, I changed jobs. So I got offered redundancy at Land Rover, and I went to work as a postman. So yeah, just to enable me to be more available, and those early starts meant that I could referee more games of evenings, things like that. I weren't on a shift pattern anymore. So, and dare I say it, walking the streets and things like that, out with fitness as well.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, you're on your feet all day, aren't you? Yeah.
So that helped as well. And then obviously when I progressed then and got offered a contract by the Premier League to referee, I had a decision then to make with my job.
Yeah.
As a postie, so I was a postie for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And took a career break. So you just don't know with the refereeing if it's going to be successful.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to put all my eggs into one basket, and sort of took a 5-year career break. But after 2 of those years, it was obvious that I weren't going to go back, and I was starting to, you know, make a name for myself, so to speak. So I had to leave the post then. And in that career break, all you had to do was work 2 weeks of the year to keep the job open. So you could do that in the summer, like, you know, when there was no football.
Yeah.
But then what comes after that is I got nominated to become a FIFA referee in 2009. So that meant more time away and everything. So, you know, it was the right decision to leave the post and just concentrate fully on the refereeing.
So at that point you would have been refereeing 5 years in the as a Premier League referee?
Yeah, so
5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how does that come about? How do FIFA sort of approach you and say, you know,
It's the FA.
It's the FA.
Yeah. So the FA refereeing department sort of, you're representing them when you're going abroad on these games. So they sort of ask you to, you know, are you interested? And they nominate you, and then that gets ratified by FIFA and UEFA, and then having been nominated, if they accept you, you then you get the badge, or the white badge is what they call it, because it's a white badge.
Yeah.
With the year on, and they always say to you, you know, it's you're only guaranteed it for that year, so you have to be renominated year after year, basically. Okay. That's based on your, obviously, your performances, and also, you know, because you're representing the FA, you know, there's certain standards of behaviour that's expected of you, you know, because you're going abroad and representing your country.
And how many England games in total did you get to referee for England?
Well, actual England games, back in the day then, we could be fourth official, but just on friendlies.
Oh, okay.
So obviously all your England games have to be done by foreign referees because of bias, you know, of course. So so I got to work on probably 4 or 5 England games. Yeah. One was at Old Trafford, when obviously Wembley was being rebuilt. And then I've done about 3 at Wembley, but like I say, only friendlies. So the refereeing team would come in from overseas, and then you'd meet up with them and be part of their team for the 2 or 3 days while they were there.
And how many international
games?
Yeah, games.
Okay. I'll probably,
if you could remember,
over the 9 years as an international referee, I've probably officiated, and I say officiated because I wasn't just referee, I'd go as 4th official, but I was also part of that experiment of the additional referees behind the goal. Yeah. So I went on a few trips as that as well. So in total, I've probably over 200 appointments. Yeah, so amazing. And going to places that you'd probably never dream of going. Yeah. But then when you discover them, they're like, wow, amazing places.
Was there anywhere that stood out in particular?
So my favourite place that I got officiated to was Fiorentina, so Florence in Italy. And I was lucky enough to go there probably 5 times. In every capacity I ref there, I was 4th official there, and I was behind the goal there, so in all of the capacities. But I just love the place in terms of the ambience, the culture, the great experience, great food, hospitality, everything was, you know, fantastic. So that was one of my favourites, amongst others, you know, like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, most of the big clubs I went to. Yeah. But I equally enjoyed going places like Moldova or Kazakhstan. Yeah. Places you'd never dream of going, but were absolutely wonderful. And I went to Russia 4 times, been to China.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate.
And all that
from blowing a whistle.
From a guy, from a guy saying you need to referee us today and give me the 15 quid at the bar after.
It's mad, isn't it? Yeah. So you never know what sort of pathway or your career takes you, or your life, takes you. Yeah, but you've got to take it as it comes, I suppose. Yeah. So we've already spoke about going from, you know, refereeing from, say, the Football League to the Premier League. Then is there does it feel any different to then do it internationally? Is there any more pressure, or, you know, you've got that bank of experience from the Premier League now, you're settled in? I'd say what helped with international football was the fact that the Premier League has, you know, a good percentage of foreign players who play in the Premier League anyway. So the sort of refereeing is international anyway in terms of the football and everything else that goes with it. So when it's making decisions, it's not necessarily that you have to speak another language. understand all the mannerisms and the signalling, and like saying stop and putting your hand out to say stop, or get up if the player's gone down too easily. You gesture for them to get up or play on or whatever. So it comes with the territory. You sort of learn those sort of body language things to do, and they come second nature. And then a lot of players from overseas learn English as part of their education anyway, growing up. So a lot of them do speak it. So we're very lucky. I mean, when I first got onto FIFA list, every referee, all the course and everything. So when you first get on, you do a 4-day course, and ours was in Malaga, and then all the referees from all over Europe come to this course, and it's all taught in English. So we're fortunate that that's our native tongue, that we understand it quite easily. Whereas I can remember there was 3 or 4 Russian referees on that course, and 2 of them couldn't speak a word of English, so they sent them home the next day.
No way.
So they'd been good enough to get there with their refereeing ability, but because they couldn't speak English, they were sent home.
That's crazy. That's the barrier to get into that.
So luckily I passed my English.
And you touched on the foreign players there.
I think I was going to extend that by saying you have to referee a little bit differently overseas as well, because in the Premier League it's fast and furious, and we allow a lot of physicality, a lot of contact. As long as it's fair, and we sort of get embroiled in that game of keeping it going and play on, let's play on. Whereas you go abroad and referee 2 teams overseas, and as soon as one of them lifts the leg high or high foot, they stop playing. So they almost make that decision to stop the game by stopping. So there's little things like that become a little bit different.
And is that difficult? Is that difficult to go from, say, one week you're refereeing the Premier League and it's all fast paced and it's all go.
You have to mentally switch over.
You're over to Italy and everyone's doing that in your face. You're having to stop the game every
2 seconds,
20 seconds.
It is different, but
I suppose that's where your experience.
You have to learn.
You just got to learn, haven't you? And that's what makes you a top referee.
I don't know about top referee.
So, I'll start with foreign. So maybe when you, even refereeing a foreign player, or if it was abroad, was there any player that you can vividly remember thinking, God, he's a nightmare. Was there any, maybe one set, or even a team in particular who stood out as just constant on you?
Overseas or domestically?
Overseas, and then we'll go domestically as well.
Okay, so overseas, I can remember going to Greece and doing PAOK. And their fans were so crazy and so into their team, they were playing Rapid Vienna, and I think there was only a handful of Rapid Vienna supporters there, but they brought a different flag of one of the Greek teams and put it up in their section, which incited the PAOK fans. I think it was an Olympiacos flag or something like that. So they went mental, and this was just prior to the kick-off, where they jumped over the sort of railings and the hoardings and whatever, and started attacking these Rapid Vienna fans. And obviously the police come in then, and there's tear gas being, it just was absolutely fraught with danger.
Carnage.
So I had to sort of take the teams in. We were only warming up at the time, so we had to take the teams in for their safety. And then there was a delay to the kick-off of about half an hour while order was being restored. And then I can just remember the sort of match manager, the UEFA observer, just saying like, delegate, you've got to start the game. This will, quieten them down. They've come to watch football, they want to watch football. So took the teams out and we played, and he was right. It just quelled it, and they just wanted to watch the game then. So order was restored, and so that was a lively experience. That was one of them. Domestically, Stoke was always a difficult place for me to referee at. Just, it's probably as a player, there's always some stadiums that you have an indifferent performance or whatever. And I mean, I ref there many, many times, but there was always one or two that was like stick in your memory as like could have done better or whatever.
So sort of a bogey, not a bogey team, but just one of them places.
Just one of those places.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lovely stadium and everything else, but it's always a cold stadium.
Cold Tuesday night.
Well, it's just it's high up on the hill.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been there.
Yeah, I have. Yeah,
and I mean, I know they've closed 2 of the sides now, but all 4 sides were open at that time in terms of the wind blowing through and everything. And I can always remember for the second half of the game, you were always dodging like crisp packets and pie packets and just debris on the playing surface. Just always seemed to be blowing a gale up there.
That's interesting to hear. Obviously, there's that old saying, a cold Tuesday night in Stoke, but it affects the
players
as well.
Yeah,
and the players as well. Yeah.
But my favourite ground to referee was always Goodison Park, Everton.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is now.
Well, the end of this season, they moved to their new stadium for next year, don't they? So, or for next season.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be fantastic. Yeah. So, I don't know. It was just that old style ground where you come up from the stairs. The Z music is playing. Kart theme music. Just used to always, even after refereeing there probably 20 times, the hairs on the back of your neck used to stand on end. It just felt like one of those very intimidating stadiums where the crowd were right on top of you.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I loved refereeing there.
Yeah. And was there ever a player in particular whoever sort of stood out as, maybe when we're refereeing Arsenal today or Man City and he's playing, it's gonna be a long day at the office. Was there any other player who's kind of stood out to you?
I think my early dealings with Liverpool was always difficult. Carragher and Gerrard.
Yeah.
Proper characters who want to win at all costs. Great players.
Really passionate.
But really passionate, yeah. Want to challenge you on every single decision. And even some that you favoured them or gave them, they'd like still sort of think, well, you've only given me that because I've moaned at you or something.
Yeah.
But after refereeing them, half a dozen times or whatever, you had that mutual respect with them then, and then they sort of left you alone. But when you were sort of new kid on the block to begin with, that they really tried and tested you. But like I say, in a passionate way, and
Yeah, it's never spiteful.
Never
personal.
Never malicious or personal or that. But just want to win at all costs,
Yeah. I suppose that's what that's
successful, absolutely.
Players,
yeah. That mentality. They work hard.
Yeah.
They play hard.
Yeah. And another thing I've always thought with referees, so before the match, are you going into the dressing rooms and speaking to the players and the manager before the game and
we used to have an hour before we'd meet the captains and the managers, exchange of team sheets.
Yeah.
And then any sort of messaging that you did then. So you weren't going into the dressing room and sort of, the worst thing you can do is tell players one thing and then when the game starts, you don't adhere to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you always just met up with the captains and literally a 2 or 3 minute little briefing where exchange of team sheets and then any important messaging, so there might be like a security issue or something where, security have said like, if the team are fortunate enough to score a goal, just make sure they celebrate in front of their own fans, so not to, you know, aggravate the others and everything else, because obviously emotions run high in football matches.
Yeah.
So it was just to remind them of their responsibilities and things like that. So generally, you know, I wouldn't tell them how to play. They don't tell me how to ref.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, just to build relationships, really.
Yeah. Because I suppose you're seeing these players maybe sometimes 4 or 5 times a season, aren't you?
Yeah. So obviously familiarity, I can't even say the word, you know, breeds that anyway, doesn't it? You know, so, and I think the biggest thing you can have at refereeing at that highest level is just, you know, you need personality.
Yeah.
You know, you're controlling or trying to control highly motivated professional players who earn vast amounts of money. You know, there's then that respect, sort of, that you need to, and that's a two-way street, you know. Not just the players, but yourself as well, you know.
Yeah. And I suppose there's a lot of egos involved in that. At times.
I don't know. I was always under the impression that, you know, growing up, the sign of a good referee was when you'd leave the ground and go, who actually refereed that, you know?
You're not being talked about.
Yeah. You know, didn't want to be centre of attention. Just wanted to, you know, referee the game to the best of my ability and just deliver it where people were talking about the players. And not the referee.
And were there any other referees who you kind of looked at the time and thought, I don't really like how he does it, or on the flip side, like I take inspiration from him. I like how he
both. I mean, you know, even now, I mean, I can go down the Villa and watch a game and think, oh, come on, ref, behave, you know. But I've been there, done it, you know. I know what they're going through. And they're making honest decisions. And the game is so fast now. You know, I mean, I've been retired 18 months, and in those 18 months, even going to watch games now in my new role as a referee coach, it's changed even in those 18 months. Massively, so quick.
Why do you think that is? On another point, why do you think the game has changed so much? Do you think that's influence from foreign managers, maybe? Influence from
a lot of factors like that. I mean, players are athletes now, aren't they? They're not, you know. I mean, when I first started, you know, the physicality of players and referees was totally different. And now, even the referees are athletes, and they need to be, because of the pace of the game, to keep up, and that's fundamentally what's changed. Is attitudes, and, you know, diet's different, and a lot of that influence has been from overseas. You've just got to adapt and move with it, haven't you?
Like anything, I suppose you just have to move with the
times.
Is there any decision that majorly stands out with you that you can look at now? Too ready to think.
Too many to remember. There's always one.
Haunts you, essentially.
There's one that definitely haunts me, and everyone will know which one it is. So it's the Chelsea Arsenal game. Back in, I think it was 2014. Forgive me if I've got the wrong year. But, so I sent off the wrong player, obviously, for the handball. And first and foremost, the upsetting thing that come out of all of that was that weeks later I was sort of branded a racist because, you know, saying not knowing one black player from another, and, you know, and that just wasn't the case, or has never been. And it was disappointing to sort of read things like that. When it was, not really. I mean, not to the extent where it made me not want to referee or anything. You know, but just thought, you know, this is society. This is probably just what you come to expect of something like this. But nah, it's just so far from the truth. You know, it was just a poor refereeing decision. Where I only see an arm, and I let players surround me, so I couldn't clearly see who had done it.
Yeah.
And the one thing you're always taught as a referee is never guess.
Yeah.
Never guess. And unfortunately, not knowing which player did it, I took an educated guess that it's the defender, the left back.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Gibbs.
Got to be Kieran Gibbs.
So I show him the red card, to which he says it's not me. And I'm saying, well, who is it then?
Yeah.
Tell me who it is, then I'll, I can put it right. It's like, it's not me. He says, well, help.
Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah.
Tell me
who.
No, it's not me. So I says, well, you're going.
Yeah.
And a bit arrogant, probably, but,
He's not helping then.
he's not helping me. In hindsight, I mean, it's a wonderful thing. You look back at it now and you think, well, Arteta was the captain on the day.
Wow,
Mikel
was
Arteta,
it?
yeah.
Mikel Arteta is
Yeah.
obviously now managing
So
Arsenal, yeah.
so what I should have done is asked him to help me and sort it out.
Yeah.
I didn't, stuck to my guns, and bizarrely, Kieran Gibbs walks off and he's just like, okay, well, I must be right then.
Yeah.
It's only when the penalty was taken, scored, it's now 3-0, 20 minutes of the game gone, 3-0 to Chelsea, Arsenal down to 10 men, that your fourth official says, I believe you've got the wrong man. Oh my God. But I've restarted the game, we scored the penalty, can't do nothing about it now, it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
So I just remember going in at half time, holding the match ball, and I must have kicked it around that dressing room.
Really?
In frustration,
Wow.
belting it. Honestly, I was so angry with myself that I'd, made a mistake of this magnitude,
Yeah.
live on Sky, going around the world. But you have to show resilience. And I remember the best thing that helped me was the Arsenal kitman coming at half time with a substitution card to say, we're making a substitution. And I just remember saying to him, is that me you want substituting? And he just sort of smiled and laughed and just said, look, we've got no problem with you. It's a mistake. And I just said to him, well, can you do two things for me? Apologise to Gibbs and obviously to Arsene Wenger. I says, that I've made a mistake. And in fairness, Arsenal were fantastic with me.
Really?
Absolutely. Full credit to them. They were great in the sense that, they knew it was just an honest mistake. Accepted it, appealed, and rightly so, because it was a mistaken identity. Which bizarrely, what normally happens then, the FA passed the send-off to the other player.
Yeah.
Which was obviously Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah.
But he didn't serve the ban because the shot was actually going wide.
Oh, really?
So I didn't need to send anybody off. The irony. But I can laugh about it now.
Yeah.
Took years of counselling, of course.
But I was going to say, above all of that, that's really interesting, to hear that insight.
Yeah.
I suppose it just made you a better referee, didn't it? Because you have that attitude of, this is happening now, I'm annoyed, I'm keen to kick myself, but you probably learned so much from that.
Well, I learnt that you never guess.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I suppose you never ever
guess.
did that again, did you?
Because really what you should do, if you don't know, is just take the hit and just, all right, I've got it wrong, I can't do anything about it because I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think I would have been far more forgiven for that than what I did.
Yeah.
So, lots of learning too.
And then,
But they got me back. They nominated me for the Ice Bucket Challenge a couple of years later.
did they?
Yeah. Which I did.
Which you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah. But, every time I reffed them again, it was never spoken about. It was never, wasn't held against me or anything like that. I'd beat myself up enough and I didn't need them to do it as well.
Oh, yeah. And then I suppose I suppose there's been lots of small decisions that you may have thought about over the years. Was there ever a game that stood out to you that you came off the pitch at the end of the game and it might have been the magnitude of the game, it might have been a really big game, maybe a final, and you thought, yeah, I've smashed that. I've done really well. I'm happy.
One of the best games I was involved with actually is the same game.
Yeah.
But a couple of seasons earlier, where so Chelsea playing Arsenal, and Arsenal won 5-3.
Yeah.
And Van Persie scored a hat-trick.
Yeah. Wow.
And that was just, honestly, it was a bizarre game in the sense that it could have been like 8-10 or something. It was end to end.
Yeah.
And I just remember coming off that game thinking, wow,
yeah,
this was amazing in the sense of a full-on game of that magnitude between two top teams who were just going at each other from the start. It must have been a great watch, you know, at home in front of
like a neutral perspective. You really just enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
So Arsenal-Chelsea games always eventful for yourself, mate.
Yeah, always eventful.
And then we spoke about it earlier, but then you have, was the Europa League final your first major European final you would have been involved in?
Yeah. So as part of that experiment behind the goal, I was fortunate enough to be in a really great refereeing team. Martin Atkinson was the referee for that game.
Yeah.
And that was the Europa League final in 2015. And then in 2016, I was working with Mark Clattenburg behind his goal for him.
Yeah.
And we did 2 finals, the Champions League and the Euro 2016 final as well. So, yeah, some great experiences.
And touching on that Champions League final, Cristiano Ronaldo scored the winning penalty, didn't he? So
yeah,
you've gone from refereeing, like we said earlier, on a Saturday Sunday league, and now you're there on the pitch. Cristiano Ronaldo, probably one of the greatest players who has ever graced the game, in a Champions League final.
Scoring the winning goal.
What's that like?
Yeah. Crazy. I mean, I remember him wheeling off and celebrating. This was in Milan in the San Siro. So like, I don't know, 80,000 in there. Yeah. I can remember him wheeling off, taking his shirt off, celebrating his normal sort of goal celebration. Obviously it was the winning penalty. And I remember the ball hitting the back of the net, and because I was the match official sort of behind the goal in line with that, I was at that end, so as the ball hits the net, I run into the goal and get the ball and give it to obviously the referee as his memento, you know, so his keepsake. But we all managed to get a ball from that final.
Got a ball from that final?
Yeah, because it's multi-ball, so so nice keepsake.
Yeah, amazing.
So normally the one biggest question I normally always get asked is Messi or Ronaldo.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask it you first.
Messi.
Why?
I'm a football purist. I think just watching the game, there's never been a player like him who can do with a football what he does. He's special. Ronaldo is phenomenal. We talked about athletes before, didn't we?
Yeah.
He is that modern day footballer. He's an athlete, you know. His longevity proves that in the game. He's meticulous, isn't he? With everything he does, his training. If you're talking about just a pure footballer, I don't think anyone can compare to Lionel. But I don't know what.
No, it's a valid point. Me personally,
I suppose, did you see Messi play? Have you refereed?
Yeah, I've refereed Messi as well. Yeah.
What's he like as a person?
Quiet. Yeah, different to Ronaldo. Totally different.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously, I've come across Ronaldo many more times with him playing at Man United, Portugal, Real Madrid. I'd only been appointed on a couple of Barcelona games where I've seen Messi up close. But I also refereed Argentina against Croatia, and Messi played in that game. So, and I've seen him at first hand. He got fouled for a penalty, and then picked himself up and scored the penalty. So I probably refereed Ronaldo probably 20, 30 times.
That's amazing. That's unbelievable.
But Messi probably only 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's Messi because, like you say, with that football purist head on and everything else. But the other thing with Messi is his honesty. He will ride a challenge and try and stay on his feet to score or set up the perfect goal.
Okay.
Whereas Ronaldo, if he's touched or feels the slightest, he'll go down.
Okay.
So
that's one of the main differences.
So for me, just in terms of refereeing, you just got an honest player in Messi that if he went down, he was kicked or he was fouled. Yeah. Whereas Christian would be more, probably because of the speed of the game and him running and whatever, the slightest touch will take you down. But he'd take that opportunity to go down rather than stay on his feet. So for me, it's Messi.
Yeah. I'm happy you said that. It's going to be a topic of debate and to the end of time, isn't it?
Absolutely. But
and there's no right or wrong answer.
All I'll say is to referee 2 greats like that in my generation was unbelievable.
In their peak as well.
In their peak, yeah. Totally.
Was there ever a performance by a player that really stands out to you even to this day? Even just watching a game like you say, I suppose you are a neutral, aren't you, essentially?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're a fan.
Yeah.
You're a fan who's close to the action. You love football, you watch football. I suppose you've refereed that hundreds of games.
Right, well, if I share one of the best goals I ever seen score.
Yeah.
So, Manchester derby.
Yeah. Marriner, 2010 over a kick. Yeah. That was not a good day for me, but you can appreciate.
It was honestly to be standing on that pitch when he propels himself like that and it hits the back of the net and then he runs off and does that celebration. I was like, I just remember going over to him, walking back and going, Wayne, that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And him just going, thanks.
Yeah.
Just like, wow.
And since you've so when did you officially
retired at the end of 2023 season and I finished at Arsenal against Wolves.
Another Arsenal game. You've got some connection to Arsenal.
The thing with your last game is you're asked where you'd like to go.
Oh, okay.
So you can pick your last game within reason.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't know, Arsenal are a fantastic club anyway, and I've always loved refereeing them home and away.
Yeah.
And that game just was like the perfect send-off in the sense of, I think they finished second in the league. The league had been done and dusted a couple of weeks before.
Yeah.
So, if it was a title decider, I probably wouldn't have got that game because, your last game, you don't want to be remembered for having a big influence on one way or the other. So it was a nice sort of game to take on and end your sort of 18 years as a referee on the Premier League.
Amazing. And since retiring, have you been offered to referee?
I've refereed a few games.
Yeah, you have, haven't you? So do you want to talk about that maybe?
It's weird because you then start getting appointed to what they call Legends games.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate to go down to Chelsea to do Chelsea Bayern Munich, and I took my lad with me to run the line. So, and just a quick story. He took his 2 mates as well. So I took the team of match officials. So they're just newly qualified referees, only 17 years of age. Yeah. And I thought, I'll introduce them down to a game of that calibre. Yeah. So people like John Terry were playing, Zola played.
Amazing.
There was Bayern Munich legends as well. And I just remember driving them down and saying, right, what sort of crowd are you expecting? I said, probably about 20,000 or whatever. They're like, wow, really? So when we get down there and do the safety briefing, I knew it'd be more or less a sellout because it's the opportunity for families to go and watch these games who don't normally get tickets. Mm-hmm. And they were doing them a special, 4 tickets for like £50 or something. Yeah. So, I knew it was going to be. Anyway, it was a 35,000 sort of.
35,000. Yeah. Wow.
And the 3 lads I've took, obviously one's my son and his 2 mates, have sort of officiated in front of that. They were blown away by it. So great experience for them, really.
unbelievable experience. And I remember Ali saying something like John Terry.
Yeah. Having his photo taken with him afterwards.
Yeah. And you know they have those Sidemen charity matches as well. Did you ever get offered to referee?
Yeah. I've been asked to do one of those games, but I didn't do it, and my lad went mad at me because it was his chance to meet all these YouTubers and YouTube. I don't know what it is.
No
idea.
Means nothing to you.
So I didn't do it. So he was a bit.
He's a bit annoyed at you for that.
Bit annoyed with me. Yeah.